It was a cold and foggy night of December 22nd, 23rd, 1949, when a 9-inch metal idol of Ram Lalla made an appearance under the central dome of the then Babri Mosque. Civil suits followed, and after over 70 years, it culminated in the corridors of the Supreme Court. Today, on January 22nd, 2024, when a 51-inch tall Ram Lalla idol is being consecrated by a group of priests led by 86-year-old Vedic scholar Pandit Lakshmikant Mathurnath Dikshit in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and over 7,000 others, believers call it homecoming of the deity. And Ayodhya, with a grand Ram temple at the epicenter, is in the midst of a major facelift. From a small rundown town, it is set to become one of country's biggest religious tourism spots. The city, which has over 5,000 big and small temples, mostly dedicated to Lord Ram, is expecting over 4 million tourists a month. In contrast, its population is just over 3 million. The city is now expanding to house a new airport, a grand railway station, and scores of real estate projects. Roads leading to it are being widened, and airlines are adjusting rosters to divert more flights to the temple city. Online travel company Make My Trip has claimed that global Ayodhya searches have jumped by over 1,800 times, and the company has also claimed that it has recorded a 97% growth in searches for religious tourism.
The whole world is looking towards Ayodhya, talking about Ayodhya. It's ultimately going to be akin to what Vatican City is, what Mecca is for people. And I'm sure we will be treated at the same level in times to come. I think, is going to greatly add to the tourism sector, making it one of the biggest growth drivers for improving tourism in the country.
After the pandemic, Indians are traveling like never before. While some are heading to the lap of nature to find some solace, others are looking for spiritual comfort. In 2022, the contribution of India's travel and tourism sector to India's economy was worth 15.7 trillion rupees. And data released by the World Travel and Tourism Council says that by the end of 2023, it was expected to be worth 16.5 trillion rupees. The overall Indian tourism market is projected to achieve a compound annual growth rate of 7 to 8%. Religious tourism, meanwhile, is expected to grow at a much higher trajectory of 9 to 10% over the next 5 to 7 years. Data released by the Ministry of Tourism says that pilgrimage tourism earned 1.34 trillion rupees in 2022 as compared to 65,070 crore rupees in 2021. It was a sharp 93% jump. Reports also say that 1,433 million domestic tourists visited places of pilgrimage in India in 2022. It was a 60% jump from 677 million in 2021 when pandemic was on peak. Capitalizing on the trend, tour operators too are offering packages to religious sites. And now, Ayodhya will give a big boost to India's spiritual tourism. Experts believe that there will be spillover too, as tourists coming to Ayodhya from far south or from outside the country are likely to visit Kashi, Haridwar, Mathura, and other religious spots too.
We believe that this segment itself is going to increase by 3x, about 300% in next 1 to 2 years, given the options, given the infrastructure push that has come from the government around, let's say, the lot of corridors, the revamping of the temples, the new temples like Ayodhya coming up. Religious tourism is bound to go at least 300 to 400% in next 1 to 2 years as far as India is concerned. The Ram temple, the way it has been built up, what it does is it will not only boost the spiritual tourism, the people who are only going for religious purposes. What will also do is that people who are only going for, let's say, holiday and leisure will also start including Ayodhya as one of the destination to be included as part of their holiday itinerary. Now, what it does is it's not only for a particular specific reason for the religious purposes, but now for the holiday leisure seeker, let's say students who want to, let's say, go for some experience and adventure tours, they will start including Ayodhya because of the Ram temple and the infrastructure created around it.
Anirban Sengupta of 2Hub, which is a B2B platform focused at the travel and hospitality industry, believes that Ayodhya will usher in an era of structured development in religious spots.
Because a couple of things will happen. The first thing that will happen is the whole religious tourism or spiritual tourism, whichever way you look at it, will have a structured development. All this while, I don't think it was in a structure. People were just going and visiting, religious places. There will be a structure, there will be development, there will be branded development that will happen because around most of our religious, apart from say Amritsar or something, most of our religious destinations did not have branded inventory. I think that will happen. Flight connections will improve. So there will be a lot of focus, which will allow growth to happen. Number one. The second thing that will happen is because of this focus, there will be it will also attract international tourists. Our expectation is Ayodhya may become what a Vatican is to Christianity. So Ayodhya may become that for Hinduism.
Budget hospitality chain Oyo has announced plans to introduce 400 properties in key spiritual destinations like Ayodhya, Varanasi, Tirupati, and Katra Vaishno Devi by the year's end. The government, meanwhile, is leading from the front. It has launched several projects such as Swadesh Darshan Scheme, Prashad, Dekho Apna Desh, Adopt a Heritage, and extended e-visa to 171 countries along with visa-free rationalization to boost tourism. Prashad is possibly the most important of those initiatives. Under the Prashad scheme, 41 religious sites were identified from across 25 states for development. But what will be the challenges that will have to be overcome to meet the projected growth in spiritual tourism?
Connectivity is the challenge because if you pinpoint all of these areas which is focused on religious tourism are not well connected. Infrastructure is an issue. Inventory of hotel rooms or is an issue. Also, there has to be a lot of tourism friendliness which needs to be provided because all this while the purpose of traveling there was primarily religion. Now you're adding a bit of tourism flavor to it. So are the people sort of geared to manage this kind of demand? Does it have enough orientation of how to manage international tourists? So those kind of challenges will be there. But as I said, I mean, it's the step in the right direction. As demand comes in, I'm sure we will figure out how to manage it.
Most experts agree that the Ram temple will not just give a fillip to Ayodhya's economy, but also to that of neighboring districts. Country's overall religious tourism will also improve with the momentum created by UP's Temple City.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
She has ambitions of becoming a brand. Business Standard.